Good evening. This is the news tonight, your daily roundup of all that has happened across India and the world. I'm Ishan Russell, and over the next half hour, we'll fill you in on the biggest news stories of the day. But first, the headlines. Political parties go all out on last day of campaigning. Road shows, rallies and shrill speeches mark the close of electioneering in Delhi. DG Vanzara gets bail in the 2004 Ishra Jahan fake encounter case. The former DIG will walk free after more than 7 years. Supreme Court rules that candidates who don't disclose criminal antecedents while filing nomination papers will get disqualified. Trinamool Congress MP Srinjoy Bose resigns from Rajya Sabha and party membership over the Sarada scam allegations. And NATO responds to Russia's threat in East Ukraine, triples its presence in Central Europe. The top story tonight, campaigning for the Delhi polls came to an end today. In the last leg, leaders from all political parties put up a strong front, campaigning rigorously across the entire length and breadth of the national capital. Here's all the action.
The campaigning in Delhi, marred by multiple controversies and mudslinging, came to an end on Thursday evening. The last day witnessed intense campaigning by the top three parties. In the last leg, parties ensured nothing is left to chance in this high-profile battle. The BJP ended its Delhi campaign with a mega flourish, as it held roadshows in all 70 assembly constituencies. Party chief Amit Shah also held rallies at several places, appealing to voters to choose the BJP. Aam Aadmi Party convener Arvind Kejriwal also continued with his relentless campaigning, meeting people and promising a corruption-free government in Delhi. Congress star campaigner Rahul Gandhi held a massive roadshow in Sultanpur Majra area, seeking votes for his party candidate. The national capital will go to polls on Saturday to elect a new government almost a year after Arvind Kejriwal decided to step down in February last year. Bureau Report, Rajya TV.
And the controversy over the Aam Aadmi Party's political funding is being doggedly kept alive by its breakaway faction Awam, which also moved the Election Commission against the AAP.
First, it was dubious sources of funding. Then, there were the fake checks. Aam Aadmi Party's breakaway faction, Aam Aadmi Volunteer Action Manch or Awam, has tried everything to bring to attention what it calls the misdeeds of the AAP. On Thursday, it moved the Election Commission against the dubious funding of the Aam Aadmi Party.
We do not believe in indulging in mudslinging. We level allegations based on substantial evidences, and here are the evidences. उन्होंने evidences लिए हैं. You can see that I have a receiving. He has assured us of necessary action as early as possible.
But as testament of the politics in Delhi this time around, while many might call it a three-cornered fight, for the Aam Aadmi Party, it's been fighting friends turned foes from Awam to Kiran Bedi. Bureau Report, Rajya TV.
The BJP has a pledge of support for Saturday's Delhi Assembly elections from the Dera Sacha Sauda. The sect headed by Gurmeet Ram Rahim Singh today announced its support to the BJP candidates in the elections. Dera has a considerable following in the neighbouring states of Haryana and Punjab and claims to have about 20 lakh followers in Delhi. The sect had earlier announced support for the BJP in the Haryana Assembly polls last year, in which the BJP emerged victorious for the first time contesting on its own. The battle for Delhi will focus to a large extent on the individual fortunes of the three chief ministerial candidates, who are also the faces of their party campaigns. So let's take a look at the three key contests in the national capital.
On counting day, the spotlight will be on New Delhi constituency. It was here that Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal defeated three-time Congress Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit in 2013. This time, Kejriwal is up against Dikshit loyalist Kiran Walia from the Congress and the former Delhi Students' Union President Nupur Sharma from the BJP. BJP's chief ministerial candidate Kiran Bedi's fate will be on test in Krishnanagar. Union Minister Dr. Harshvardhan had nurtured the seat where Bedi, a political newbie, faces the Congress's councillor Bansi Lal and S.K. Bagga from the Aam Aadmi Party. The third prominent face of the Delhi Assembly elections is Ajay Makhan. The former Congress MP faces a tough challenge from sitting AAP MLA Somdat. Praveen Jain of the BJP is also a formidable challenge. Although all three main rivals made women's safety the main plank of their campaigns, together they have put up only 19 women in the fray. The BJP accounts for 8, the Aam Aadmi Party 6, while the Congress has given tickets to 5 women. In the 2013 elections, 17 women were in the running, out of which only 3 women won. Bureau Report, Rajya TV.
Now, in a significant ruling, the Supreme Court has ruled that the election of a candidate who has concealed his or her criminal records during the nomination process should be declared null and void. Now, cracking the whip on criminal politicians again, the top court ruled that if candidates give incorrect details of criminal cases pending against them, their candidature can be cancelled. The court has ruled that such concealment amounts to interference in free exercise of electoral rights. The verdict came in a 2006 case in which the election of a panchayat member from Coimbatore was challenged. LC Goel has taken charge as the new Home Secretary. A day after his predecessor, Anil Goswami, was sacked. He was asked to put in his papers over allegedly trying to stall the arrest of Sharada scam accused former Congress Minister Matang Singh. Goel was serving as the Rural Development Secretary till now.
Senior IAS officer LC Goel took over as the Home Secretary on Thursday. The 1979 batch IAS officer of Kerala cadre, Goel was the Rural Development Secretary before taking the new charge. He will have a tenure of 2 years from today. Soon after taking over, he called on Home Minister Rajnath Singh. Goel succeeded Anil Goswami, who was allowed to resign late on Wednesday, 5 months ahead of his contract. Goswami is accused of talking directly to CBI officials probing the Sharada scam in connection with the former Congress Minister Matan Singh's arrest. He reportedly admitted that he did make the call to CBI officers but did not interfere in the case. Congress raised questions over Goswami's unceremonious exit, but the government backed its decision to remove him.
The Home Secretary is a very sensitive position. And what kind of political supervision and control are they exercising that the Home Secretary can ostensibly interfere into an investigation? So it's a very sad commentary on the functioning of this government.
Home Secretary ka incident is not the first one. You know, censor board chairman and the members resigned because they have no freedom to work. Then the DRDO chief was sacked for no reason.
Goswami was a very efficient and very good administrator. But this particular incident is something I will not like to link with anything, because whatever is there before you, and it just shows the intention of the government on which government would like to perform its duty.
LC Goel, an officer of the 1979 Kerala cadre, who was the Secretary of the Rural Development Ministry, is to take over as Home Secretary. Mr. Goel had also been a Joint Secretary in the Home Ministry during the tenure of former Minister Shivraj Patil. This is the second instance of removal of a top bureaucrat in a week after Foreign Secretary Sujata Singh's services were curtailed last Wednesday. The move came after she refused to resign from the post. Bureau Report, Rajya TV.
So time for a quick break now, but coming up on the other side, there's been a desertion from the Trinamool Congress. Srinjoy Bose quit. On the other side, we'll tell you why.
India's star shining in global affairs.
The professional army of any country does not have faith, piety and jihad in the name of God.
From regional power to assertive global leader.
Sri Lanka denies that these violations took place.
We want India to be a superpower. We have been doing everything for decades, and we have been giving to India everything best we have.
Experts debate the nation's foreign policy.
We should not have any political preference of ours so far as Nepal is concerned.
Taliban were the creatures of Pakistan. Whatever people may say, they were created by Pakistan.
India's World with Bharat Bhushan on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. You're watching the news tonight. Now, DG Vanzara and PP Pandey, two former Gujarat cops accused in the Ishra Jahan fake encounter case, got bail today. However, Vanzara has been barred from entering the state by a court in Ahmedabad. Vanzara has been in jail for 8 years for the cases that earned him the nickname of Encounter Specialist. He was earlier granted bail in the Sharabuddin Sheikh fake encounter case. He was arrested in March 2007 when he was a Deputy Inspector General of Police for the Sharabuddin killing. Meanwhile, Pandey, the senior-most IPS officer to be arrested in the Ishra Jahan case, was the Joint Commissioner of Police when the encounter took place. His bail was granted on 2 surety bonds of 50,000 rupees each. He's been asked to submit his passport as well. So far, 6 out of the 8 cops accused in the case have been granted bail.
PP पांडे की जो जमानत के लिए अर्ज गुजारी थी, वो सीबीआई स्पेशल कोर्ट ने आज मंजूर करके उनको बेल पे रिलीज करने का ऑर्डर कर दिया।
मिस्टर बंजारा का शोराबुद्दीन केस में बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट का ऑर्डर ये है कि उसको बॉम्बे नहीं छोड़ना है, बॉम्बे में ही रहना है। तो ये कोर्ट ने जस्ट टू मेंटेन दैट ऑर्डर ये ऑर्डर किया है कि हर वर्किंग सैटरडे को मिस्टर बंजारा ये कोर्ट में प्रेजेंस मार्क करवाएंगे। ये ट्रायल जब चलेंगे तब यहाँ रहेंगे। इसके अलावा जब तक फर्दर ऑर्डर नहीं होता है वो बॉम्बे में रहेंगे।
The French Foreign Minister Fabius has said efforts to reach an agreement on climate change would fail if any country believed it could hurt their economic prospects. Speaking at the 15th Delhi Sustainable Development Summit, he urged the international community to work together on climate change and not be against each other. He warned that a significant reduction of greenhouse gas emissions is not achievable without equitable access to sustainable development. Speaking on India's role, the French minister said India is a major economy and therefore a major emitter, as well as a key player in both climate and sustainable development goal negotiations. The French Foreign Minister is on a 3-day visit to India and also met External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj.
It is not very wise to oppose development and fight against climate disruption. Because if you accept climate disruption, you accept development disruption. We have to share the idea that both for rich countries and developing countries, it's necessary to have new techniques and to go step by step and as quickly as possible towards a new...
Now all the other national news and updates we are tracking in Nationwide. Sanjay Bose resigns from the Trinamool Congress. Rajya Sabha, in fact, a day after being released on conditional bail, Sanjay Bose resigned from his post as Rajya Sabha MP and also from the Trinamool Congress. Sanjay was arrested by the Special Crime Branch of the CBI in connection with the Charata scam in November last year. The death toll due to swine flu has reached 68 after one more person died in Rajasthan yesterday. 29 districts out of 33 in the state are reported to be affected. The number of cases touched 30 in Lucknow after 3 more persons tested positive. Nagaland Chief Minister T.R. Zilang won the trial of strength by getting 59 votes in the 16-member assembly. The special session of the assembly was summoned by Governor P.D. Acharya after 22 out of 38 legislators of the ruling Naga People's Front rebelled against Zilang's leadership. The SIT today questioned Sunanda Pushkar's son Shiv Menon in connection with her alleged murder. At least 15 people have been questioned so far by the police team in the case. A group of Christians staged a protest in central Delhi against the incidents of vandalism on churches in the city. The protesters demanded actions against the miscreants. Some people were detained for violating prohibitory orders. Now, some international news. The death toll in the Taiwan plane crash has gone up to 31 today. At least 12 more passengers are still reported to be missing since the mishap yesterday, as rescue operations continue to look for them. Now, probes continues to ascertain the cause of the crash as well. Meanwhile, investigators praise the pilot's last-ditch effort to minimize damage during the crash.
Rescue teams in Taiwan are continuing to search for the 12 people who remain unaccounted for a plane crashed in a river on Wednesday morning. 15 survivors were pulled from the wreckage, including a 2-year-old boy. The death toll was expected to rise as rescue teams searched the river for the missing passengers.
已经寻获了46个人，送医15个人，死亡31个人。 旅客当中呢，大陆籍的旅客有31位，3人受伤，16位死亡，12人不明。那国际旅客呢，22位，11人受伤，5人死亡。
The survivors of the crash met the Taiwanese president on Thursday. The investigators praised the pilot who was killed along with the co-pilot for remaining composed and trying to steer the plane clear of high rises in the area. The cause of the crash is yet to be ascertained, but TransAsia denied any engine problem, as was claimed by the ATC recordings on Wednesday.
今天媒体有报道，在飞行前，有发动机有异状，没有做检查就放飞。那针对这件事情，我们严重的澄清，并且告诉各位媒体朋友，我们没有这件事情。
This was the second recent major mishap involving a TransAsia plane. Last year, a TransAsia plane crashed in Penghu in bad weather, killing 48 people. Bureau Report, RSTV.
Now, NATO is all set to more than double its response force in response to Russian actions in Ukraine and challenge of Islamic extremism. An important element is the formation of a spearhead force that will bolster NATO's ability to respond swiftly to a military threat. Here's more.
NATO is responding to Russian aggression in East Ukraine with a stronger force in Central Europe. The size of the force is being increased from the present 13,000 to 30,000, with command elements in 6 NATO nations including Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, Romania and Bulgaria.
I expect that they will decide on a force which will be around 30,000. And part of that enhanced NATO response force, I expect will be the establishment of this spearhead force, which I expect will be of a size around 5,000. And this spearhead force will have some lead elements which will be able to deploy within a very short notice.
Meanwhile, diplomatic efforts to end the renewed fighting are continuing. European leaders including US Secretary of State John Kerry, French President François Hollande and German Chancellor Angela Merkel are in Ukraine to present a new peace initiative. They will put forward the new plan to Kiev before meeting Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow on Friday. However, the US insists on continuation of economic and political pressure on Russia.
The economic and political pressure on Russia has to remain the main center of gravity of our effort at pushing back. And the Europeans are critical to that. So European solidarity and NATO solidarity are critical in this regard.
Russia has vehemently denied allegations of involvement in the Ukrainian conflict that has killed over 5,000 people since last April. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Let's now take a look at all the other international news and updates we've been tracking through the day in Global Buzz. Japan today passed a resolution that condemned Islamic State after the group beheaded 2 of its citizens and killed a Jordanian pilot. The resolution passed in Japan's lower house called for the country to step up its humanitarian aid to the Middle East and Africa. The Islamic State killed Japanese hostages after Prime Minister Shinzo Abe announced $200 million in non-military aid for countries fighting the terror group. Boko Haram militants have reportedly killed at least 70 people in an attack in Cameroon near the border with Nigeria. The group attacked civilians in their homes and set several buildings on fire in an attack that reminded of the Baga massacre recently. Last month, Boko Haram had killed over hundreds and set Baga town on fire in one of the most deadly attacks in recent times. The European Central Bank has toughened its stance with Greece by restricting financing to the country's banks, sending shares falling. The central bank said it would no longer accept Greek government bonds as collateral for lending money to commercial banks. The move makes access to cash more expensive for Greece's banks. Al Jazeera journalist Peter Grest has returned to Brisbane following his release from an Egyptian prison. Grest and his 2 colleagues, Bahir Mohammed and Mohammed Fahmy, were arrested in 2013. They were convicted of spreading false news and aiding the banned Muslim Brotherhood. while Fahmy has surrendered his Egyptian citizenship in order to facilitate his release. The status of Mohammed still remains unclear. Well, time for a quick break right now, but coming up on the other side, all the sports news. Kerala's Elizabeth Koshi wins her second gold medal in shooting at the National Games. More from the National Games on the other side.
ये है बेलाडीला माइंस का इलाका छत्तीसगढ़ के दांतेवाड़ा इलाके में। सब जानते हैं कि यहाँ पर भारत के संविधान के विरोधियों का बोलबाला है। सीआईएसएफ के जांबाज जवान नक्सलियों के आमने सामने दांतेवाड़ा के बीहड़ जंगलों के बीचों बीच।
कई बार उन लोगों ने हमले किए हैं, कभी कन्वेयर बेल्ट को जलाया, कभी डंपर्स को जलाया, कभी हमारे आदमियों के ऊपर भी हमले किए हैं। उन सब गलतियों से हम लोगों ने सबक लिया है।
और एक नया जंगी दस्ता सीआईएसएफ के निंजा वॉरियर्स, राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा का नया एपिसोड सीआईएसएफ रेड जोन के अंदर, सिर्फ राज्यसभा टेलीविजन पर।
Indian Railways, the second largest rail network of the world. 19,000 trains crisscross a rail route of 65,000 kilometers, carrying more than 2 crore passengers and 25 lakh ton goods daily. The humongous rail network is manned by 14 lakh employees. You'd be dazed, but the length and breadth of Indian Railways is equivalent to a distance travelling to moon 4 times a day.
In the Maths Factor, we travel through time and space and see how maths has evolved and how it is a part of the world around us. Join us on Rajya Sabha television. Watch the Maths Factor every Sunday at 8 AM.
Welcome back. You're watching the news tonight. Now let's get you all the news from the 35th National Games. Asian gold medalist Jeetu Rai won double gold medal in the pistol event in the 35th National Games today. Jeetu first combined with Gurpreet Singh and Omkar Singh to ensure a top finish in the 10-meter pistol team event. He then went on to win a gold in the individual competition. Former World Cup winner Ranjan Singh Sodhi bagged gold in the men's double track section. Elizabeth Koshi of Kerala won her second gold medal today in the 50-meter rifle 3-position event in the 35th National Games. In the 35th National Games, Elizabeth scored a total of 445.9 to beat Vedanki of Maharashtra in a close competition. She also won gold in the 50-meter rifle prone event yesterday. Kavita Devi of Haryana bagged the gold medal in weightlifting today. She won the top honours in the 75-kilogram category. Mangta P. Kom of Chandigarh and Ponraj of Tamil Nadu took the silver and bronze medals respectively. Shamini Kumarasan of Tamil Nadu clinched the gold medal women's table tennis singles final. Shamini defeated Ankita Das of West Bengal to take the top honour. Bronze medal went to Madhurika of Maharashtra and Mouma Das of West Bengal. In gymnastics, Andhra Pradesh picked up the women's individual rhythmic all-round gold through G. Meghna. Jammu and Kashmir's Palak Kaur settled for silver. Punjab's Prabjot Bawa took home the bronze medal. Well, it's time now for all the other sports news in Sports Weight. Ivory Coast reached their third African Nation Cup final in 9 years. They defeated Congo 3-1 in the semi-final. Yaya Toure, Gervinho and Wilfried Cannon scored for the team. Ivory Coast will now face either host Equatorial Guinea or Ghana in the final. Borussia Dortmund's poor run in the Bundesliga continue as they suffered a 1-0 home defeat against Augsburg. Raul Bobadilla scored in the 50th minute to hand Augsburg the first ever win over Dortmund. The runners-up last year are currently 18th on the table after their 11th loss this season. Cyclist Lance Armstrong could be fined or even jailed if found guilty in a car crash. Armstrong will face court on the 17th of March. He could face a fine and up to 90 days in jail if convicted of the charges. Well, that's the news tonight, but before we go, we leave you with pictures of a flock of synchronized starlings that formed spectacular sights of dancing clouds in the skies of southern Israel. It's really a unique, spectacular feature, so have a look at this.
Thank you.